Assalamu alaikum. My name is Iram Asif, and today we'll learn one important aspect how to evaluate. Okay, so it wasn't there earlier for the O levels, but yes, they have just added it up. So this how why we are going to evaluate and how we are going to evaluate we'll learn over here. And why is it required? Because this is one important aspect which we will be doing for paper 2, question number 1, that is the directed writing. There we are required to evaluate the text which are given. Okay, so if we'll know how to evaluate, only then we'll be able to attempt question number 1 of paper 2. Okay, so before we start, let us have a few slides here. Okay, now what does it say? We must have the knowledge what we are going to do, how we are going to start with our work. Okay, now the trap of writing. If you are given a question, you must know how and what to do. How are you going to plan for it? Okay. So before planning, even you must know what you are required to write here. The text type. What are you writing? Like whether it is a speech or you are given a letter. Okay, so we are going to answer here to ourselves. Okay, it's not written anywhere, but the text type, that means it may be a speech, it may be a letter, it may be a magazine article, it may be a report writing. Okay, so what you are required to write, what you will be writing. Register what tone should be adopted. Now that depends on the audience, of course. Okay, whoever is your audience. For example, if you are giving a speech and the speech is for some adults or the speech is for the students of your own age, so that depends on what type of register, what type of tone you will be adopting. We'll just have a few examples so that you will know what we should write there. Okay. Now the purpose. What are you? Why are you writing? Like, are you going to? You want to persuade someone? Okay, it may be a persuasive writing, or you. It's an argumentative type of thing. Okay, so that depends on what topic you are given. Okay. So this is the trap of the speech. So before even planning, you must know what you are going to or what you're supposed to do. Okay. So here is one of the example. A question is given here and you will be answering this to yourself only. TRAP. You have been asked to write a speech for young students, persuading them not to use their phones during the school day. Write words of your speech. Okay, so what is the text type? That means you will be writing a speech. Okay, now the second thing, tone. Before tone, let us start with the audience. Who are the audience here? The young students. That means your tone should be informal and the audience are young students. Okay. Now, what is the purpose? The purpose is to persuade them. See, it is even mentioned here. Okay. So, got the idea? So, before even starting, you must know what you are supposed to do and what type of tone you will use and how your write up should be. Okay. Now, see, as the answer say, informal tone, young students, speech to persuade. Now, coming on to the next question, you have been asked to write a formal letter to your head. A formal letter. See, so what will be the speech here? Please excuse my writing, okay? Formal letter. Okay, to your headmaster. Headmaster means the audience is headmaster. Isn't it so? So what type of tone you are going to adopt? It should be formal. For a formal letter, a formal tone is required. Okay. And what is P? What is the purpose? Asking him to abolish homework. That means it will be again a persuasive one. We are going to persuasive. Okay. You are required to persuade your headmaster. Isn't that so? Now let us move on. You may have the answer here. Can even read out the answer. Okay, now moving on to one of the question here. This question came in the specimen paper 2024. Okay, so let us just go through it so that you may know why you need to evaluate. Why do we need to learn to evaluate? Okay. And as I have told you, it was not there before this 2024. Okay, before this new syllabus of 2024. So we need to learn how to evaluate. Okay. Now, the question says write a magazine article for young people about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries. So, when let us discuss it later. Advantages and disadvantages. That means two different texts are given. Okay. In one of the texts, they just tell you about the advantages of traveling to other countries, and in the other text, the disadvantages of traveling to other countries. Okay, so you have to evaluate and you have to give your own opinion, whatever the question says. Evaluate the ideas and opinions in both texts. This is bullet point 1. Okay. Give your own views based on what you have read in the text about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries. Now, this is the second bullet point. So you make sure that you are answering or you are covering both the bullet points when you are going to answer. Okay. Now, base your article on what you have read in both texts. So that means you cannot ignore any of the text. Okay. Whatever you have read from both the texts, you have to evaluate it. Okay. So you have to, and for that reason, you have to read both the text very carefully. Address both of the bullet points, which is very necessary. Otherwise, you won't get the desired marks. Now, begin your article with a suitable headline. Now, why a headline? See, we are talking about a magazine article here. And for a magazine article, you must have a headline. You may have subheadings also, but that is up to you. If you want, that is not mandatory. Okay, if you want, you may add up the subheadings, and if you don't want, it's okay. Now, 250 to 350 words are required. 10 marks are available for the content of your answer, and we'll just talk in detail what I meant by the content, and 15 marks for the quality of your writing. So altogether, the question is of 25 marks. That is the reason why we must have the knowledge of how we are going to evaluate or how we should evaluate the texts. Okay. So, as the question says, now these are the two texts which are given to you. In for the first text, they are telling you about the advantages, and the second text is about the disadvantages. Or if the second text is about advantages, then the first text will be about disadvantages, and vice versa. Okay, it's not necessary. Now, let us move on to the third slide. Requirement of the answer. What do we actually need to write in our answer? Introduction about the idea behind the text. See, you are not going to use the same words. Okay, you have to read it out thoroughly again and again until you must know what it really meant, how you are going to evaluate that particular text. Okay, so what is the what are you required to write? What you should write is the idea which is behind the text. That is the implicit idea, okay, which is not written there very clearly. You have to give your own opinion, okay, although your own opinion is required later in the second bullet point, but when you are reading the text, at the same time you must know what you are going to write. You must plan before even start with your writing. Now evaluate the ideas and opinions in both text. Okay, I'll just tell you how you are going to evaluate. Give your own views based on what you have read in the text about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries. See, in the first thing, you have to give the idea. So before giving the idea, even you must know what is there. How are you going to know? When you are reading, when you are going to read the text thoroughly, marking the points, you must mark up the points. I'll tell you how you are going to mark the points. And then only you must know whether you agree with the advantages or you have a strong feeling for the disadvantages. Okay, only then you will be able to write. Now, what is the format? The format of magazine article. There must be a headline, as it is mentioned in the question also. You must have a catchy headline, a byline. A byline means written by whatever your name is. Okay. Then an introduction, that will be paragraph one. Subheadings are optional. If you want, you may add up, or you can just write directly. Then multiple paragraphs. The body should have at least three paragraphs. Okay. The first one, argument plus evaluation. Second argument plus evaluation. Third argument plus evaluation. Then comes the bullet point two, where you have to give your own opinion. Okay. And then the ending, sorry. Okay. Now, the marking criteria, which I have told you earlier, that was mentioned in the question, that 10 marks are for the content. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the content? You have to select a wide range of relevant facts, ideas, and opinions from the text, the given text. Okay. The two texts which are given to you in the question. Okay. They are talking about those texts. Analyzes, evaluates, and develops the chosen content in a way that clearly fulfill all elements of the task. That means you have to select those ideas on which you can write. Okay, you're not going to just select any of the idea and then you feel helpless and you're not able to give justification. You cannot evaluate the text. Please do not select such points. Okay, just select those points on which you think that you can write beautifully. Okay, now moving on to the next part, this. Okay, where 15 marks are allocated for the style, okay, of your writing. Now, content is complex, well developed, and effective. That means don't write any rubbish there. Okay, whatever idea you are selecting, whatever point you are selecting, you must write on it. Okay, and everything should be logical. Okay, whatever you are writing should be logical. Okay, it should make sense. Well organized structure that assimilates ideas from the text, uses a wide range of well constructed sentences accurately, including complex sentences. I had uploaded one of the video that was for the types of sentences. You may get the idea from there what complex sentences are. Okay, you can get the idea from there. Precise and effective use of a wide range of vocabulary. If you want, I can even upload a vocabulary list so that it will be easier for you to go through the vocabulary, to memorize a lot of words. Okay, so that you become habitual of using them and try to use them again and again so that it becomes a habit. Consistently appropriate tone and register for audience and purpose that we have mentioned here in this video only, what type of tone and how you are going to select the tone. We have just discussed it. Highly accurate use of complex spelling, punctuation and grammar. So that means you are not supposed to make any spelling error, punctuation or grammar, or the marks will be deducted for it. Okay. So let us move on. What Cambridge says. The most effective responses paid specific attention to the audience and style. That is the what we have learned earlier. The style, that means what type of tone, and the audience, that according to the audience, you must set up your tone, your style. Okay? If you are talking to students, obviously your tone should be a bit informal. Okay, and what you are going to, if you are giving a speech, what things you are required to say in your speech, how you're going to ask them rhetorical question just to engage them, all these things are very important. Okay, for each of the thing, like you're not going to write the speech in the same way as you are writing a letter. The formats are changed for each and everything. You cannot just mix up a magazine article with the report writing. They have different format. Their styles are different. So you must see what style you are adopting. Okay. Now, these are lively but evaluative in style, using ideas from the text. The idea should be taken from the text only. Okay, you must not have your own idea or do not impose your own idea. Okay, just take out the idea from the text to create and structure arguments, and often employing rhetorical devices such as questions, exclamations, and calls to action. But the idea basically should be from the text only. Okay, then you can argument, you can shoot out any rhetorical question, you can just do whatever you want, but the idea should be taken from the text. A tone which reflected a familiarity between writer and audience worked well for some. Like if you are going to give a speech, okay, it in order to engage this audience also, you must start asking questions. You must say what we are supposed to do instead of me, what I am supposed to do. Don't say this pronoun. Don't use the pronoun I here, but instead use we, so that you are involving them also in your speech. Okay. So this is how you are supposed to write. This is how you are going to write your speech, or in any other cases. Okay. Now, what exactly is evaluation? See, we must have a knowledge what evaluation is. Only then we'll be able to evaluate it. Evaluation is understanding the implicit attitudes, ideas, or logical fallacies at the heart of the writer's argument, and thereby giving an effective counter argument. Now, see, okay, let me read it out, then I'll explain it to you. Essentially, it is an effective counter argument against the specific point a writer makes. Cambridge will often have one side that they expect you to argue more than the other, not usually very balanced. Okay, now what it says. What does it mean here? See, the idea is there in the text. All you have to do is to extract the idea, and then you have to, if you agree with it, just say yes, you agree with whatever. You can just elaborate there. But if you do not agree with the idea, that is the basic thing. That's the main thing what you are supposed to do. You don't agree with the idea, just give a counter argument, okay, against any specific point, whatever you think that the writer is wrong. Okay, see, your own evaluation counts here. Whether, see, your own opinion is here. No one is going to argue with you. Okay, it's your own opinion. Whatever you think, whatever you deemed fit, whatever you think that this is the thing which is right. Okay, so no one is going to challenge you. Okay, but you have to give a counter argument, and it is not usually a balanced one. See, if you agree with one of the point, you may disagree with the other point of the writer, or if you agree with one writer's point, you may agree with the other writer's point too, or you may disagree with both the writers at the same time. Okay, so that is the reason why they have asked to give your own opinion. Later on in the second bullet point, they have asked to give your own opinion. Okay, so there you are going to give your own opinion, but it is not necessary, or it is not it does not even feel good if you agree with each and everything. A person cannot agree with each and everything. Maybe you agree with all the points which are there in text A, maybe, okay, but you disagree with anyone. But there should be something where you feel that yes, you do not agree with it. Okay. Okay. Now put simply, or just I'm giving I've just explained in a little easier word. Put simply, where we evaluate a writer's idea, we weigh up the pros and cons of what is being expressed. We think carefully about the arguments presented before giving our own opinion. Now, whatever is mentioned, whatever is there in front of us, we have to carefully judge whether you agree or whether you disagree. Okay? And where you find that you disagree, just give a counter argument. No, yes, you are right. Yes, the person is right. And then you have to, you're not fighting with someone. You're just giving an argument, a counter argument. I'll just tell you how you are supposed to do this. Okay, let us move on. Now, this is what it meant. In the context of the English language, evaluation means looking at statements, thinking about the ways in which they are justified, and to either accept the statement or reject it based on the evidence and a sound reasoning process. Okay, now what you'll have to do, evaluation requires you to demonstrate. See, it was so big, so I just underlined few of the things here and there. Required to demonstrate something that's not inside the text, and to actually think about what it meant. See, it, as I have told you, that it's all the implicit idea you are going to extract from the text. Okay, everything is not written very clearly. You have to give your own idea, you have to argue, you have to give your own opinion, you have to evaluate here. Now, what you'll have to do, how you're going to evaluate, the first step is understand the text, understand what is going on inside the text, and for that you have to read and reread. And what what you will do, as you read and reread, just mark the points which you think that whether you agree. For example, you have got two pens, right? Take two pens. If you, whatever points you agree, just mark it with black. For example, it's just an example, and mark the points for which you disagree. Just mark them with blue, so that you'll have the idea that yes, you agree or you disagree with this point, you agree or disagree with that whatever point. Okay, in that, in this way, you should read both the text and get a collection of the idea. So before even starting with your writing, you must clearly have the plan. You just plan it out, where you go, what points are you exactly going to consider. Okay, because you will get so many points, but you won't be talking on each and everything. Okay, you just have to select three, maximum 3 points. Okay, you just have to extract any 3 points and then just start arguing or give some counter argument, or if you agree, just say that yes, yes, you agree with uh, whatever thing is there. Okay, logically reason with the content of the text. Do not agree with the argument overall. Obviously, there may be some point where you disagree. Okay, it's not necessary that you agree with the whole text. So develop a good understanding of the content of the text. Ask yourself how the different parts of the text fit together. Obviously, it's not necessary that you agree with the argument overall. Okay, you must have your own arguments. Synthesize the text in relation to what you are being asked to do. Evaluation that you are going to do will be done in relation to a specific context. Okay, you are not going to evaluate each and every point. You are not going to counter argument on each and every point. There may be few points where you agree with the writer. Okay, so are you supposed to give a speech or write an article, for example? If you are, then ask yourself who your audience is, that we have been repeating again and again. What register would be suitable to them? And obviously, when you are talking to someone of your own age, you should not be very formal. You can give a funny anecdote also. You can just add up few things just to attract them and just to engage them. Okay. Now, an evaluation is not a summary. You don't just have to summarize the two texts and don't just write it down directly. Okay, don't just write in condensed form. You're not supposed to just take out all the points and just summarize it and put it there. No, this is not how evaluation is done. Okay, they are not asking you to summarize, they want you to evaluate. Okay, get the idea, and then you have to give your own counter argument, or if you agree or disagree, in both the cases you must just select 3 points, at least 3 points, okay, where you think that yes, you can talk on those points. Okay, it's not talk, but you can write on those points. Okay, so evaluation entails making judgment. Okay, you must judge according to your own situation and your own understanding. Okay, now we are not here to comfort you. See, it's a little harsh here, but to tell you that it's okay when it's not. That would be a disservice to you of the highest order, because no matter what, you need to improve. See, if you are not able to, if you do not know, if you are not aware of how to evaluate the text, that is not good. You must learn. Okay, so if anyone says that it's okay, you can just summarize it down. No, no, you must know how to evaluate, otherwise your marks will be deducted, you will be short of marks. Okay, so don't do this. Just take it a bit seriously. Okay, now use evaluative phrases, useful evaluative phrases. Now, these are the few phrases here which you can add up. You can just take a screenshot if you want, uh, which you can just add up while starting with your evaluation. Okay, so you may agree or disagree. Okay, so you can select any of the starting points here, whether you agree or disagree. Okay, in both the cases, you can just select any of the points to start with. I'll just read out one or two for you. You thoughtfully draw the reader's attention to whatever. Okay, you just agree with whatever point the writer has written, and you just agree with it, taking your ideas into account. I agree with whatever the topic is, or whatever the reasoning is, or whatever the point is. If you agree with it, you can just start writing like this. Okay, it's not necessary that you should argue with each and every point. Okay, now if you disagree, you can just start up your writing. Like, in my opinion, your article doesn't. It could be anything. You can just add up. Your article inaccurately portrays whatever. See, you may have some arguments there. Okay, so you may express your arguments. It's particularly shocking that you present the idea. See, you disagree, you can write it in any way. Okay, now here is the text which was given. Let me read this out. Okay, I won't be reading it a whole. I won't read the whole text, otherwise, it will become the video will become too lengthy. But I just want you to have idea. So we'll just read out half the text just to get the idea. Okay. Or what if I read the whole text, text A, and just dropping out text B? Okay. So let me have this like that. Amira 42. Okay, this is text A, one of the texts which was given. I've never understood why people are so keen to travel to other countries when there is so much to see in their native lands. See, I have underlined, no, not I have underlined, but I have just, you can underline it, okay? But I have just selected different colors so that to have an idea that these are the points which I have extracted, and on these points I will be writing either agreeing with the idea or either disagreeing. Okay. So these are the points which I have just extracted. Still, I am not sure whether I will agree or disagree, but I have just selected or I have just extracted the ideas from here. Very few of us really know our own countries, preferring instead to hop on a fuel guzzling aeroplane and travel thousands of miles to far flung lands for our vacations. Oh, sorry. And what greets us when we land? Paying ridiculously high prices to enter crowded tourist attractions and then getting ripped off in restaurants by paying twice as much as locals for the same food. I believe in the staycation, taking a holiday closer to home. What better way to understand your own country's history and tradition than by holidaying there and seeing them for yourself? It's eco-friendly. And even more so, if you don't use a car, why not try a combination of public transport, cycling, and even walking? If you are on a low budget, stay with friends and family. It's so easy for us to get bored and fail to appreciate where we live. Think about all the beautiful and interesting places you haven't seen that are within easy reach. How many of us can claim that we really know where we come from? Having a holiday with trips to historical sites and landmarks of interest will allow you to gain knowledge about your own culture. So go on, have a great vacation and reduce your carbon footprint at the same time. So that means they are just telling you about the disadvantages of traveling to other countries. Isn't it so? So let's see what are the points. These are the points which are extracted by the Cambridge. These are the points they have extracted. Okay. So what are the points which are extracted here? So much to see in their native lands. Lots of people don't get to know their own countries. That means here, if you agree that yes, it is more important to be eco-friendly, or it's more important to visit your own country or the places in your own country, you can go with it. As I have told you, you don't need to give counter argument on each and everything. You may agree with few things also. Okay. Fuel guzzling aeroplane, eco-friendly, carbon footprint. It's much better for the environment to take vacations in your own country. Again, the agreeing part. Ridiculously high prices, crowded tourist attractions, ripped off holidays in other countries are often disappointing. Getting to know and understand, appreciate your own country, culture is important and rewarding. Spend holidays seeing friends and family. I'm sorry, but it's just giving an impression. Because whenever you are asked to go for a vacation, you just go to your cousin's place. But it's quite boring also at times. Anyways, so exploring, see, as we have mentioned earlier, that you can add up some subheadings if you want, and if you don't want, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Exploring one's native land over foreign travel. Now, see, what I have uh, done here is I have agreed with one of the opinion, and at the same time, see, if you do not agree, if you think that yes, going to other countries is more attractive, or it's more adventurous, you can give argument on that point. Okay, so there's an argument and there's an counter argument also. Okay, so let's read it out. The writer suggests that there is so much to see in one's own country, yet few people take the time to explore local destinations. This argument is appealing as it encourages reader to appreciate the culture, landscapes, and history of their own country, often overlooked in favor of distant lands. This approach could cultivate a sense of national pride and deeper cultural understanding. Now, see, this is in favor, okay, as I have told you, that at times you can go with the argument, you can agree, and at the same time you may disagree, okay, but you should have a little balance. You must know where what you want to do. When you are giving your own opinion, you must have it clear in your mind that what you are supposed to do, whether you want to go abroad, whether you want to go to other countries for the vacation, or whether you want to stay in your own country, or you can just visit your own country, different places of your own country. Okay, so just make it clear in your mind and then go on with the argument or the counter argument. Okay, now the counter arguments say, while the viewpoint has merits, travel enthusiasts might argue that international travel offers unique experiences that cannot be replicated locally. Different countries provide exposure to diverse customs, languages, and historical sites that broaden one's perspective. For some, the novelty and educational value of visiting a foreign country is worth the extra distance. Okay, now see, that means for the second point, that is the counter argument, that means he wishes to go to other country, he wishes to go to other countries for the vacation. Okay, so if you have this, you must know what you want to write. Okay, you must have the vision, very clear vision, what you want. Okay, whether you go with the certain article or whether you disagree. Okay, now instead of reading all the things here and just moving on with the, instead of just reading it out, or let me have one argument from text B. Okay, what it says, but we haven't read this. Okay, this we'll just read out the first one and we'll have an argument here. It's human nature to want to see and try new things. For young people, traveling to other countries open their eyes to how fascinating and varied the world is. Traveling is educational. You can practice a language, learn about different cultures and attitudes, try new and exotic foods. Be brave and step outside your comfort zone. I went traveling after my A levels, and I can honestly say it changed me as a person. We'll just restrict to this thing and just read it out what this says. If you go on, like if you agree with it, the writer argues that travel is inherently educational, providing opportunities to practice languages, experience different cultures, and try new foods. This viewpoint holds strong appeal especially for young people, as it emphasizes the unique learning that happens outside a traditional classroom setting. Travel broadens perspectives and deepens understanding, offering lessons in history, geography, and culture is in an immersive way. Now, if you are going to counter argument, however, some may argue that meaningful cultural knowledge and language skills can also be acquired at home through reading, watching foreign films, or even interacting with diverse communities. Although travel does not offer immersive experiences, it may be accessible to everyone due to financial or logistical constraint. For these individuals, learning through books, media, or local events might be equally rewarding. Now, see, that is just a counter argument just given against this, what is mentioned in text B. They have just given a counter argument here. Okay, now I'll just be reading out the whole, um, you can say, the article, which is written on the basic basis of these two texts. Okay, well, it's been too long. Okay, and the title. You won't be mentioning this word title here, but you'll just give out the title. Wanderlust Unlocked, Discovering the World's Wonders While Staying Mindful. Traveling has always been a dream for many, exploring vibrant cultures, tasting exotic cuisines, and capturing breathtaking landscapes. But with rising cost and environmental concerns, the way we travel is evolving. Should we stick to exploring faraway destinations or find joy in the beauty close to home? Now, see, but you must be very clear what you are writing, where you are going. Okay? What do you want yourself? What you're supposed to do? Which part you agree on? This article dives into the joys and challenges of both international adventures and local escapes, helping you uncover how to balance wanderlust with mindful choices. Now, the two texts discuss different views on traveling, showing both its appeal and its challenges. After considering both opinions, see, before even giving your opinion, you must have an overview. Okay. I believe traveling to other countries has great benefits, even though it has some downsides too. That means the writer is agreeing that he should go abroad, he should go to other countries for the vacation. Okay. Now, on the positive side, traveling abroad gives people a chance to grow personally and learn about new cultures. As the second writer explains, visiting other countries can be a life changing experience. Experiencing a new culture, learning different languages, and trying unfamiliar food can create a sense of wonder and help us appreciate diversity. These experiences can also help us see the world in new ways, break stereotypes, and develop empathy by meeting people from different backgrounds. For young people, especially, travel can be a great way to learn life skills like independence, resilience, and the value of experiences over material things. On the other hand, now see, first, because the writer here agrees with text B, that is the reason he has mentioned or she has mentioned the text B first. Okay, that he or she agree with it. On the other hand, as the first writer mentions, international travel does have its drawback. It can be very expensive and harmful to the environment due to the carbon emission from long flights. For people who care about the environment, staying home or exploring local areas can be a better choice. Uh, this is at time it's a bit harsh. That means he is not or she is not giving any counter argument, but it's just, it seems that the person is just restricting कि अच्छा है अगर घर पे ही बैठना है तो घर पे बैठो. Anyways, traveling locally not only reduces pollution but also supports local businesses and can be more affordable. Additionally, popular tourist spots abroad can sometimes feel overcrowded and overpriced, which can make the experience less enjoyable. Okay. So he or she is giving so many ideas. Okay. That why he or she agrees, and what are the arguments which uh, the writer has placed. In conclusion, while I understand the financial and environmental issues with international travel, I still believe it offers valuable and unique experiences. A good solution might be to travel abroad less often, but make those trips meaningful, planning carefully to enjoy and learn as much as possible. At the same time, exploring nearby places can help us appreciate the beauty and culture in our own countries while still benefiting from occasional trips to see the wider world. Now, what is mentioned here? किसी का भी दिल नहीं तोड़ा. ठीक है? Uh, the person, like the writer, has given his own opinion here. Okay, that he prefers to go abroad, or he prefers to visit other countries. But at the same time, yes, if you cannot afford, you can just roam about in your own country. Okay, just go and see whatever the places are there, or just visit your family members or whatever. This is just what you can afford, how much you can afford. Okay, or what is feasible for you. Okay, so this is how you are giving a balanced, you can say a balanced statement also, but not exactly a balanced one. The opinion is there, the argument is there, the counter argument is there, and to give it, you can say it's just written there respectfully, that without even without giving any heartbreaking type of or very harsh arguments. He has just made it very simple and agreed in both the cases. Okay? But still, I would rather say that it's just kind of a balancing which is done in the last paragraph. Not exactly balancing, but I would say that yet he agreed that he should go, that a person should go to other countries. But still, he says, or the writer says, that yes, it's okay if you visit your own places also. Okay? So it is kind of a balance uh, evaluation, or a balance statement which was finally given. Okay, so you must, so as it was said earlier, you cannot give a one-sided opinion. You should not stick to any one side. Okay, that will be too harsh. Okay, so though he think that one should go abroad, but at the same time, he does not disagree with the point that yes, you can even enjoy within your country also. Okay, so I hope you must have understand how an evaluation is done. Okay, now this is applicable to each and everything. Like obviously the format will be changed for the speech, for the letter, for the report writing, the format will be changed. Okay, but this is how the evaluation is done. Basically, I wanted to emphasize only, or I wanted to oh yes, emphasize only on this evaluation. Okay, it wasn't the magazine article which I had or the format of the magazine article which I had told you, but it was just the evaluation. Okay, next time we'll just go on with the either the speech writing or the letter writing, and one by one we are going to learn how to write the letter. Okay, with the valuation and everything on. Okay, bye bye for now.